I suppose I've always had a very conventional sense of the notion of karma, and that my life then becomes a sort of cosmic retribution, if you will, due to these misdeeds and malfeasance. So I wonder if you could help me untangle that potential confusion.
This whole talk about retribution, reward and punishment is coming from a certain dogma of belief. Is it okay, I can say anything? Because the problem with me is, once I start chewing on truth, I'm completely unaware who is around me. I'm not socially sensitive that way. Is that okay? Hello? It never so happened that ever a hand from the sky came down and punched you in the face. Nor did it ever so happen that when you were just about to do something silly and fall off this branch, a hand came from the sky and held you back. Both these things have not happened, though people have always been hoping such a thing will happen. Of course, you want your enemy to be punched and you to be held. But such things have not happened. Well, we can believe. What belief essentially means is, we neither have the courage nor the commitment to seek what is true. So we believe whatever is socially convenient. If you are in a certain society, you believe something and you think that is absolute. If you go to another society, they will laugh at your beliefs, but they have something else funny. So everybody has their set of beliefs. Belief essentially means that you're not interested in truth. That means you're willing to make up something that you do not know. Somewhere there is not enough sincerity or courage to see what I do not know as I do not know. Because first of all, the value of I do not know has been completely tarnished and rubbished by people. I do not know is the greatest possibility in your life. Only when you see I do not know, the longing to know, the seeking to know, and the possibility of knowing becomes a reality. Whatever I don't know, I will believe. Well, you will sleep well tonight. That's the whole thing. So you must make up your mind, first of all, are you looking for solace or are you looking for a solution in this life? If you're looking for solace, just believe something, it'll work. You'll sleep well. If everything around you is… all the situations around you are doing well, you will live okay and die. Nothing wrong with it, it's just limited, that's all. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong in eating, sleeping, reproducing and just dying one day. What's wrong with that? We are all here because somebody ate, slept and reproduced, that's why we're here, all right? So nothing wrong with it. It is just that it's limited. If something called the madness of seeking has come to you, then it won't work, that's all. If you're a sane person, socially correct, it's perfectly fine to believe something and be happy about it. What's wrong? Nothing wrong. So, beliefs and beliefs, various types of beliefs all over the world. I'm sure many of you have traveled around the world and you know how many sorts of beliefs are there. The important thing is just to know that if we work hard enough on you from your childhood, we can make you believe just about any damn thing in the universe. Hello? We need to rub you nicely from your childhood. That's the important thing. If we leave you free till you're 8, 10, then you're trouble. We must rub you down right from the beginning so that you will simply believe what your parents believed, their parents believed, their parents believed forever, okay? Because it gives you… it's a club. You can call it by many names, but it's actually a club. You all believe one thing, you're one club, they all believe something, they're another club. But at least the clubs don't wage wars. Maybe they'll have little social, social media tiffs. But these hardcore beliefs will lead to enormous amount of confrontations and conflicts in the world. Leaving that aside, about karma. Karma is not a concept that you or me can make up, because you need to understand this comes from a cultural dimension and a spiritual dimension where there is no belief system as such. Well, here and there people try to create some beliefs in small pockets, but overall there is no belief system. That's why Indians are eternally confused, because there is no one belief system. About everything there is an argument, all right? If there are 5 people, they have 10 opinions. Yes. So, this is because a culture that was steeped in spirituality today only largely retains only remnants of it, the jargon of it, not the fruit of it is not there, just the jargon is there. Not that it is not at all there, it is there, but not like how it used to be, where nearly at least 80 to 90% of the people were in some kind of spiritual practice just a few centuries ago. That is not there anymore. Because of that, lot of interpretations and misinterpretations happen. About retribution, the fundamental psychology of retribution comes from the simplistic idea of if you are a good guy, you're going to heaven, if you're a bad guy, you're going to hell. How many are going to heaven here? I want to know. Hello? You going? Good. But you must first check out what's there. There's no Wi-Fi, just telling you. So, in the previous generation, if you asked how many of you want to go to heaven, 90% would have raised their hand. All of you. Just one person raised, maybe there are a few more, maybe 10% will raise their hands in this generation. In the next generation, ask them how many of them want their life to be managed by heaven. Nobody, almost nobody, not even 1 or 2%. So essentially, in just a matter of 3, 4 generations, heaven is collapsing. But why is it collapsing? What is happening? Why should we go to heaven or not go to heaven? Heaven or hell, both I'm saying, I don't want to say both of them every time, so I'm just saying heaven, both. Either you fall here or there, there's just a wall between the two. If you're a good guy, you fall this way, if you're a bad guy, you fall that way. I don't know where the girls go, nobody spoke about it. Always the talk is about good guys fall this way, bad guys fall that way. Where do the girls go? Nowhere has it been spoken, because it's like this. What is in heaven? In the Hindu heaven, food is very good. If you're a foodie, you must go to Hindu heaven. If you go to another heaven, there are white-gowned ladies floating around in the sky, in the clouds. You like that kind of ambience, you can go there. If you go to another kind of heaven, you will be confronted with virgin problems. But what does it take to go there? This happened in Alabama. Anybody from Alabama? Because before I crack a joke, I'm just making sure that I'm okay. Because except in their shower, everywhere else they pack a gun out there. So, this is a Sunday school. The Sunday school teacher is going full fire. The audience are not like you, all tiny tots. Catch them, young policy. So he's going full fire. In his rhetoric, he stopped and said, "What do you have to do to go to heaven?" Little Mary in the first row said, "If I scrub the church floor every Sunday morning, I will go to heaven." Absolutely, it's a needed chore, Another little girl stood up and said, if I share 50% of my pocket money with my less privileged friend, I will go to heaven. Correct. Little Tommy in the back bench stood up and said, you got to die first. That is a qualification. Hello? You got to die first. When you die, usually, depending on your culture, either we will bury you or burn you or feed you to the birds. Different cultures do different things, or throw you in the ocean. Essentially, you put your body back to this planet because this body is a piece of planet, you slowly gather it. If you've not done anything eco-friendly, at least putting the body back into the planet is a basic duty we must do one day. Hello? That you will do anyway, one way or the other. So you left your body here and went to heaven. Now what do you do with good food and virgins, I'm asking? You don't have a body. Hello? These are all problems that matter to you only when you have a body, isn't it? Hello? Hello, are we on talking terms? Yeah. Now, these kind of things have been on for a long time, let's keep them aside. So this retribution, it never happened to you, all right? Maybe somebody who was your friend turned against you and did some poking, or somebody else on the street did some poking, or some other force in this society. Never from the sky retribution came and hit you. Well, even if you're hit by the lightning, you know it's just lightning, it could hit anybody, all right? Just now, before I left India about 4 weeks ago, 23 elephants got burnt up in a lightning strike. This is the first time such a thing has happened. 23 elephants in one place, they were close together in a herd, lightning strike, all 23 got fried. So, is this elephantine retribution? No, these things are happening, all right? There is a lightning, there is a flood, there is a volcano, there is a road accident. These are happening because these are all forces in the nature. In many ways, it's happening. It is just that because we have no explanation for that, we just come up with a belief system. Because we don't have the courage to see that we don't know. What we do not know, I do not know, what's the problem? It is so straight of you, sincere of you, human of you to see I do not know, because if you see I do not know, genuinely understand, experience and realize that I do not know, your intelligence will be awake even if your body sleeps. Always on. The moment you say I know, your intelligence sleeps, even if you're awake. So this is a fundamental tool. Because the most important aspect of who you are right now as a human being, compared to every other wonderful species which are around us, millions of them, there are a heap of creatures, all right, millions of them, millions of species. You're on top of that in terms of evolutionary process. But human beings are not feeling like top of the world, simply because they don't have an active intelligence. They put it to sleep. They try to live with their memory or their imagination. Imaginations of heaven and hell, memories of past. What happened yesterday, what happened 10 years ago. What happened 10 years ago, people can still suffer. Hello? What may happen day after tomorrow, they already suffer. What happened 10 years ago does not exist right now, isn't it? Hello? If you're suffering, is that hallucination or is it existentially correct? You must answer me, hello? If you're suffering something that does not exist, what should we call you? Hello? No, there are no good words for that. I won't use them, bad words, but there are no good words to describe somebody who is suffering something which does not exist, essentially because they're misunderstanding their psychological process as existential. This has happened because they have taken their individuality too seriously. Anybody who thinks I'm really a fantastic guy, all you have to do is close your mouth and hold your nose for 2 minutes. And you know, you're not such an individual. Only because these two holes are functioning, you're alive. Just transaction in terms of breath, in terms of food, in terms of drink, transactions are happening on all levels. That's why you're on. So your individuality is a fake. What was not you yesterday is you today in this body. What is you today may not be you tomorrow, isn't it? So your idea of individuality is a completely your psychological imagination, your individuality. Because of this, karma comes in. Because in this vast cosmos where you do not know where it begins, where it ends, you, a small little individual, it terrifies you. You have to make up things. You have to make up things to survive here, because if you just look like this, you don't know where this begins, where it ends. In the middle of nowhere, this small little mud ball called Earth is spinning around and we are sitting here and look at us. Fear. Not knowing how to handle our fear, we make up something nice. Somebody's up there managing everything, don't worry, he's a good manager of things. And you're suffering, you must be a bad guy. You're having a good time? Oh, you must have done some great karma somewhere, all right? So this kind of thing has been going on, reward and punishment, because fear and guilt is the way to control people. Karma comes into play in your life when you understand life is not about control, life is about liberation. Any number of people coming to me and asking, Sadhguru, how to control my mind? I said, why the hell do you want to control your mind? Do you want to liberate your mind or control your mind? Oh yeah, I would like to liberate, but how to control? The problem is right now, they're having mental diarrhea. That's the problem. When you're having mental diarrhea, you think of control. No, your mind, your intelligence, your faculties, who you are must be liberated. Boundaries should be broken, not set. Control means to set boundaries. To liberate means to break boundaries. See, look at yourself, whoever you are right now, whoever you may be, whatever you may be, you would like to be something more. Hello? Yes or no? Let's say that something more happens right now. What? What? Something more? That happened right now. What? Something more. We can go on like this. Let's say, what's your name? Elizabeth. Oh, it's a right name also. Let's say we made you the queen of this planet. Hey, don't look at me hopefully. I will not commit such blunder. Let's say we made you the queen of this planet. Are you fulfilled and there? No, you will want the moon, of course. If we give you the moon, the solar system, just a small one. The moment you're the queen of solar system, you look at the rest of the galaxy. We gave you one galaxy, will you close there? No. So there is something within you which wants to expand, doesn't like it, doesn't like boundaries. Wherever you set the boundary, it wants to be something more and something more and something more. You're not looking for more, you're looking for all. Something within you is longing to become boundless, but right now trapped within physical limitations. What karma means is the basis of your physicality. See, right now you have a physical body. This physical body has taken this human form. Whatever you may eat, let's say you ate only worms for the next 5 years, do you think you'll become a bird? Hello? I'm asking you. No, you do what you want. There is memory here that it will not get confused. It knows this is a human being. Do whatever you want. This will only take human form because there is a software. You cannot remove. This is karma. This is evolutionary memory. Next, there is genetic memory. You may not remember, I can pick on you. I'm picking on you because you're in the front row, okay? Uh, let us say 500 years ago, how your great-great-great-great-grandmother looked, you do not know, but her nose is sitting on your face. How your forefathers looked 1,000,000 years ago, you do not know, but even the skin tone, your body remembers. So there's enormous amount of evolutionary and genetic memory. Over that comes karmic memory. Like this, there are 8 dimensions of memory. I will not go into all that, that's a humongous aspect. So, now all these memories put together, here sits Elizabeth. When she says, I am Elizabeth, it is an amalgamation of all these unimaginable levels of memory. Every cell in your body carries this. When I say every cell in your body carries this, what I'm saying is, every cell in your body carries more memory than your entire brain can ever imagine, trillion of times more. After all, see, your parents, not just yours, all of ours, our parents were so stingy, they gave us only 1 cell each. Huh? Virus coming at us in millions. Only 1 cell? See, that 1 cell remembered everything that it needs to remember, isn't it? They didn't have to give you 1,000,000 cells to make you who you are, just 1 cell. Nothing has been forgotten. Everything was there in that 1 cell, isn't it? So in every cell, the volume of memory that you carry in one single cell is trillion times more than what you can imagine in your brain. So there is a whole body of memory, which is what we're calling as karma. Certain aspects of memory are articulate, certain aspects are inarticulate, some are conscious, some are subconscious and unconscious, like this variety of memories. Without these memories, you don't exist. You cannot have a form. There is a form to you only because of memory. If there is no memory, there is no physical form. So all this together is called karma. So does karma, it is not a concept that you believe or disbelieve, it is always working here as you sit here. Since you were born, what you were exposed to, what you were not exposed to, pleasant things that happened, unpleasant things that happened, every thought, every emotion, every action that you performed, all that together, the residual memory of all that is you right now, isn't it, as a person? Now this memory is not bad or good, it's just there. Only because human beings have such a vivid sense of memory, there is a possibility of our life becoming rich. Suppose what happened day before yesterday you forgot, and only yesterday's memory is there in your head right now. If this happens to your body, you will disintegrate. But let us say even in your mind, only what happened yesterday is in your mind. You have a very insignificant life, isn't it? Because from your childhood, every little thing, important, not important, good ones, good, bad, ugly, every kind, is there in your head. With all this, there is a richness of experience to you. So karma is neither good nor bad, it is a platform upon which you sit. If you stand on this platform and do your act today, no problem, your act will be rich. But if this platform becomes like quicksand and you start sinking into it, or you put glue on it, and once you put your foot there, you can't move anymore, this has happened to people. Their memories have made them into statues. They can't move anywhere, they're just stuck. Maybe they got this position or this position, they're just stuck there. This is the way I can think, this is the way I can feel, this is the only way I can do it. I can only love this person, I cannot think of even looking at this person. Endlessly they are fixing themselves like this because they're allowing memory to seep into now. Memory means past. You cannot fix the past. You can only experience the present. but you can craft tomorrow the way you want. What is now is already here, you can only experience it. What is yesterday is not here, you cannot fix it. You can only pick and choose what you want. That is, if you have created a little distance between you and your entire memory bank, now you can pick and choose what you want. Otherwise, it seeps into your life everywhere. It won't let you live. It will make sure your present is like yesterday, your tomorrow is like yesterday, everything is like yesterday. It will not allow you to live a fresh life. You are not a fresh life in many ways, because without you knowing, your grandmother seeps into you. When you were 18, you thought, I will never be like my mother, I'm like this. But by the time you're 45, suddenly you walk like her, you sit like her, you talk like her. Have you seen this happening? No, I didn't say you're 45, okay?
I wish I was 45.
So, because your mother, your grandmother, your grandfather seeps into your life, they try to live. Dead people are greedy. They want to live through the living. It's very important that you enjoy them, you remember them, you value them, you respect them, but they must be a little away. If you do not create this distance, you don't have a life of your own, you're just an extension of something. Well, you may be proud of that also, but I'm just sorry, because you're not a fresh life, because no new possibility will open up. Above all, you cannot move into the freedom space, you will just be ruled by memory. Memory is a fantastic thing, at the same time memory is a boundary. See, now I've seen you, Elizabeth. If I see you tomorrow, hey Elizabeth, why? Because you're in my memory. If you're not in my memory, I will look at you, who's she? Stranger, all right? So you must understand, memory is a boundary of your experience. Right now, these people are in my memory, oh, these are all my friends. These people are not in my memory, who are they, you know? So memory is a great possibility, at the same time it's a prison of its own. You're living within the sphere of your memory is simply because people want to live with the familiar always. This means what's in their memory or what's in their karma. What this means is, you are building a wall of self-preservation. The walls of self-preservation, after some time, are the walls of self-imprisonment. You cannot help it. If you build a wall around you, because there was an enemy outside, let's say, you built a wall around you. Now, it's not only that enemy cannot come in, even after he's gone, you cannot get out, isn't it? So this is karma, that your karma is a possibility, at the same time it's a limitation. So it's not about getting rid of it, it is not about labeling it good or bad. I'm particularly stressing on this because everything in this part of the world is labeled as good or bad, everything is either good or bad. I'm seeing even on international news channels, people are using words like good guys and bad guys. The bad guys are always on the other side, of course. That means essentially, I'm good, you're bad, that's all. The fundamental principle is that, all right? Whatever I do is good, whatever you do must be bad. Well, what this leads to, you know, but karma means it is the most dynamic way to exist. That is, you understand who you are right now, whether you know all the detail of it or not, but you're acknowledging who I am right now is entirely my making. Who I will be tomorrow now comes into my hands. When we say karma, it does not mean everything in the world will happen your way. My life is my karma means my life is my making. Does it mean to say everything in the world will happen my way? World happening your way or not is not important. This one person must happen your way. If this one person happened your way, you are a fantastic being. If you were happening exactly the way you want, would you keep yourself blissful or miserable? Hello? You must answer this question. Blissful. Whatever you may want for your neighbor, at least What you want for yourself is highest level of pleasantness, isn't it? The only problem is you are not happening the way you want because somewhere you have attributed yourself to something else. That, I'm like this because my father. Well, we can't change the guy now. That was done long time ago. Now if I say I'm like this because my father was not all right, well, you're a lost case, aren't you? You're a lost case because who you are right now, this is your karma. If you see this moment's karma will be 100% in your hands. Past karma, you cannot change. What you did yesterday, can you change? You cannot change. This wanting to change comes because you're looking at something that is dead. See, among dead people, you don't say, oh, this is a good guy, this is a bad guy. Whoever dies, you… Hello, this much culture everywhere there is in the world, except a few people who do terrible things even to the dead bodies. There are few people like that. Otherwise, generally in every culture, irrespective of what religion, culture, whatever it is, when somebody is dead, because he's not a good guy or a bad guy, he's just there, no trouble, isn't it? So, this problem of labeling everything as good or bad is coming from the fundamental aspect like this, because we perceive everything partially. See, right now if you see this part of my hand, you cannot see this part of my hand. This is the nature of your perception. What you see, what you hear, what you smell, what you taste, everything is in parts. You never grasp the whole thing. Because of this, you perceive everything in parts. Once you perceive things in parts, say light is good, darkness is bad. No, whole lot of creatures won't agree. Maybe even the Los Angeles society won't agree. Yes. There is more life… I'm not talking about your city, I'm talking about the world, okay? In terms of various species, there is more life alive in the night than in the day. The forest comes alive in the nights. So you sit with let's say you sit with an owl and start an argument, which is light, which is darkness, you and the owl, where do you think it'll get? Hello? Endless argument. Who is right, I'm asking? You or the owl? Hello? Both right. See, if you're saying both right, this means either you're in the diplomatic corps or you have a successful marriage. You learn to say both to everything. See, one can be right or the other can be right, or both can be wrong. Both can't be right, isn't it? Which is light, which is darkness? How can both be right? But in marriage it happens, you have to say both, otherwise you're fired. So, this is something we need to understand, that our faculties as sense perception is only good for survival, not for exploring the nature of the existence. It is nice, you can see, hear, smell, taste, this is good for survival process. If you see clearly, you will survive better. If you hear clearly, you will survive better. But this will not open up the doors of existence for you to know, because there is no knowing. I'm saying something as stark as like light and darkness, you cannot decide. There is no experiential dimension to it to clearly tell you which is which, isn't it? Because a whole lot of people, whole lot of creatures think night is light, day is darkness. So that is how limited sense perception is, because sense perception is attuned for your survival. In you, the survival is tuned one way, in the owl, it's another way, in all other creatures, it's different ways. The way you see things, other creatures are not seeing things that way. That doesn't mean they are wrong and you're right. It's just that nobody is seeing the full picture. With this, we are making conclusions not only about creation, also about the creator. This is like, let's say we gave you million-piece jigsaw. You found 4 pieces, you put it together and say, wow, this is a crow. But it's a million-piece jigsaw. So if you want to perceive this, you need to transcend sense perception. If you transcend sense perception, you have no problem with karma. Karma has no impact on you. It doesn't matter what kind of karma you have, it has no impact on you. If you are limited to your sense perception, karma plays its role, because the very way you see something, it influences that. Because eye is not a simple camera, it is depending upon the memory bank within the brain for it to see people in a certain way. Just based on the shape of the nose or color of the skin or something else like that, 1,000 things happen in people's minds, isn't it? Hello? All the time. So this is because they genuinely feel that way. See, they're not pretending, they genuinely feel that way. This is why it's extremely important that we handle this karma properly, because if you really want to solve all the discriminatory process on the planet, the most important thing is to understand how are you coming to this? On what basis is somebody beautiful, somebody ugly? On what basis is somebody good, somebody bad? If you look at this, you will see it is your karma. That is the way your karma is. Unless you rise above that, you cannot help making judgments, this is good, this is bad, this is okay, that's ugly, that's beautiful. Like this, it goes on making without your permission, isn't it? It's not asking your permission, it just makes it automatic, because the karma is there if you do not distance yourself from that. So this retribution, this idea of retribution is coming from this fundamental… I was about to say an ugly word, which goes very well in India, but I don't want to use that word here for you So, what this retribution comes from this idea that, you know, the parents and the teachers, in their own image, they created God. If you do something, they'll rap you on your knuckles, otherwise they'll smack you in the face, otherwise they'll reward you with something, chocolate cake. The same thing expanded becomes hell and heaven. This is a very simplistic idea selling for a long time. And every time I'm seeing these days especially, I thought it was past, but once again the younger people are doing this. Everything, something good happens, bad happens, they'll look up. They're looking up for help. See, you're on a round planet. Hello? Is the planet round or flat? What do you think in California? Is it round or flat? So, you're sitting on a round planet and the damn thing is spinning all the time. And if you look up, you're obviously looking up in the wrong direction. Hello? Yes or no? Do you know what is up in this cosmos? Hello? Is it marked somewhere, this side up, this side down? No, you cannot even figure which is up and which is down. Go and ask people in Australia, which is up, they'll say like this. So, you do not even know what is up and what is down, but you're so knowledgeable about what is up there. This is dangerous. So karma means you are the maker of your life. It doesn't mean that you created the planet, okay? It doesn't mean you created the cosmos. No, no, no. The maker of your life. Do not talk about things which are not in your experience. If you talk about something which is not in your experience, if we put it very bluntly, we have to just say you're bloody lying. Hello? Just look at the society, look at the scriptures, look at the religions, look at the philosophies. Sincerely, just as a simple human being, look at it. How much lie, how much truth? Enormous amount of lies passing on from generation to generation, generation to generation.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you like this interview from the Commune podcast, then click subscribe and check out this video right here.